All right, ready to go. We're going to start talking holding the balls. Been a much talked about topic over the weekend, and I obviously agree with the assessment from the AFL that it should have been hold the ball. I also agree that it would have been tough for the umpires to get it. So even as a Crow supporter, I'm not bitter, but would have been nice that they paid it. Difficult scenario with so many players around the ball, whether it was dragged back in. I get it all. But that's our game. Umpires are going to make mistakes. We do our best not to. But I'm going to show you a game the following day, ironically, that in Division 1 was decided by a holding the ball decision. And our umpire got it right. So well done to Matt Harris, who doesn't lack the courage to play holding the balls at the best of times, but we'll just roll the tape here. Let me share the screen. Look, I will share the link with you in the notes if you want to go watch it later on. And it might not come across that well on the Zoom, but we'll give it a crack. So you'll notice that in the on the screen, the score is saying it's 8 points difference. Actually not. They got that wrong. At this point in the game, it's 1 point difference. The Port District's player dives in the ball. It's about a minute to go. Ball's held in, causes the ball up. Matt pays the free kick. It's kicked towards the end zone. A big hanger taken from the Teacher Gully player. Stefan's in a good position to judge the mark. Clear mark. Goes back. I'll just forward it because he goes, sets up and has a shot for goal and misses. So he kicks a point. There would be 20, 30 seconds left on the clock. As you'd expect, the Port District player kicks the ball down. A decent kick out, almost halfway down the ground. They quickly transfer play to the forward line. And this is where the second hole on the ball is paid. Matt's in great position, had to run down to get there. The Teacher Gully player dives on the ball. They're all calling for it. He doesn't pay it immediately, but waits for the right time. The Teacher Gully player, in frustration, gets the ball, throws it to the ground, 25-metre paid. Siren goes. So at this stage, the scores are drawn, and he goes on to kick the goal. So well done to Matt to get all that right. You can go have a look at that later on if you wish. I guess the points I would like to make, everyone focuses on the end of the game because it is so crucial. And it's important that we do our best to get it right. And so we need to run hard. We need to concentrate. You need to be able to see the ball player's head and shoulders. Don't go jumping at free kicks. If you see a high tackle in the back holding on, you pay it immediately. If it's a marking contest and you need to wait till they complete the mark, or in the case of a holding the ball, you delay the whistle to make sure it needs to be paid. So Matt did it perfectly. You'll see in the second one in particular, he waits to see if the ball comes out. It doesn't, and they rightfully pays it. So we need courage, we need composure, but we don't want to be rash in our decision making either at the end. So just a really good example for one of our umpires, at the end of the game, that we got it right. But as I said before, we don't always get it right, and the AFL guys at the moment seem to be getting it wrong more often than not at the end of the Crows games. But as a Crow supporter, we'll deal with that. All right. So anyone else want to make any comments on that issue before we move on? It was just a ironic situation considering the Friday night game, how it happened in our league the following day. So, without any other further comments, doesn't look like anyone's got any, I'll move on. I've got a fair bit to get through last week. I had some stuff to talk to, but obviously with Matt Stevic online, I just held it off till this week. First of all, as we normally do, the milestones. Got a 50-gamer, Mark Hines, field umpires, been with us a couple of years, so well done to Mark for getting that milestone. Rob Lombardi, who used to be a field umpire, these days a goalie. He is doing his 500th game, so well done to Rob. And a big milestone to Terry Crispin doing his 900th. So Terry's been field umpiring for many, many years, and brings up that milestone this week. So well done to Terry, Rob, and Mark. So this week's appointments, some of you may have looked at the schedule, you would have seen that there's a handful of games, not a lot. There's a couple of Div 1 games, that's A's, B's, and C's, so it's a total of 6 games. And one game in Div 6, A, B's, and C's, so it's 9 games all up. For the umpires appointed to Anzac Day, they received their appointment today. So most of those guys, or the field umpires, would be aware they were getting that because I just checked with them before they went out. The rest of the appointments will go out tomorrow at the normal time at 3:30. So for those of you on the line that haven't got an appointment in Officials HQ right now, you can safely say that you're not doing an Anzac Day game, but unless there's a pullout. Just a reminder about Golden Grove games, just to avoid the clashes of Guernseys. Either choose to wear the grey polo shirt, but not everyone has that these days because we don't tell everyone they have to wear that to and from games anymore. The easiest solution is just to turn your normal shirt inside out. It gives you a white shirt. Gets rid of the C-Max too if you have a C-Max shirt. But at the end of the day, just do whatever the other umpire is doing. It only needs to be the field umpires. I did notice last week the boundary umpires wore the polos. They don't need to. The boundaries and goals don't really get in the way of the play. So just the field umpires need to avoid the clash. I want to touch on the even up rule. So this was mentioned a couple of weeks ago, sort of at the last minute. But just to talk through, I've actually copied and pasted the league's rules and regulations. So it's if you have a men's A grade game where all the A grade divisions have reserve teams. I mean, there are a couple of clubs like this year, Gazer and who's the other one that doesn't have a reserves, Elizabeth. But doesn't any A grade game, the even up rule doesn't apply. So even for games with Gazer and Elizabeth, their A grade, if they play short, the opposition don't need to even it up. With the women's, it's Division 1 and 2 that have a reserves grade, reserves team. So the even up rule doesn't apply in Divisions 1 or 2 A grade for women. But for all the other games, so B grade games, C grade games, the even up rule does apply. So essentially at the start of the game, if one side doesn't have the full 18 in the men's or 16 in the women's, then the other team has to even up. If a reduced amount occurs during a game, they don't have to even up immediately. They just even up at the end of the quarter. You'll be notified, obviously, that they're playing less, and they just need to play a player short until the end of the quarter, and then the sides even up. The yellow or red cards where a player is sent off, you don't need to even up the other side as a result of the cards. And the even up rule only applies during the minor round. So once we get to finals, it doesn't apply. If you've got any queries about it on the day, just give us a call. Obviously, Pete is a bit more accessible on game day. Or you can try me, but hopefully you guys are fully aware of how that all works now. Any questions on that one before I go on? Okay. Abuse from spectators. So we had some issues with the Ingle Farm crowd a couple of weeks ago. And there's a couple of different ways to deal with over-the-top crowd abuse. So you're always going to hear some comments, and we obviously need to have somewhat of a thick skin as field umpires. But if it's over the top towards you, or they're getting stuck into a really young boundary or goal umpire inappropriately, certainly if there's any homophobic or racial comments, then we need to get onto it. But if it's near the coach's bench, the coaches have a responsibility to, and their staff, to make sure that around that coach's bench, there's not the misbehaviour going on that might be around the ground. So that's where you can go over to the matchday official and tell them to warn the coach's bench that any further comments from the coaches or the crowd around there, then you can start paying free kicks once you pay that warning, all right? But I don't want free kicks for the rest of the ground. I don't want you paying spectators around the ground, a free kick against them because they say something. What you need to do in that instance is notify the matchday official that something needs addressing. If the problem and give them a chance to go deal with it. If the problem continues, you need to readdress the matchday official and be really frank about it. You need to do something, or if it's going to continue, you're going to call the game off. And if it continues, do not hesitate to call the game off. The league will fully support you in these situations. Obviously, you've taken all those steps. You've asked them to address it initially. You've asked them to readdress it. But on the third time, third strike, game over. And we will back you up during the week, and there'll be pressure on the club to get their act together. All right. So just wanted to make you aware there's different processes in place for dealing with crowd abuse. And obviously, in both scenarios, get in touch with me after the game and just let me know what happened, either phone call or an email. Just wanted to visit the last possession rule again, because I did have a couple of questions about this, and we've had it mixed up in the past. Just want to make sure everyone's fully aware. If you need any clarification on the rule, it's on the interpretations video. But the bit that sometimes people get confused about is if a player shepherds another player from touching the ball, and they can do so, then you direct the boundary umpire to throw it in. But if a player is on their own, they could touch it, but they kind of just let the ball roll over the line, you still pay a last possession free kick. So we've actually had umpires in the past that have said, they could have grabbed it, they shepherded the ball over the line, but they're not shepherding anyone from actually stopping it. And at the end of the day, a free kick is given for a clear kick or handball. So in that case, it's not a throw-in, it's a free kick. Does that make sense? All right. So Officials HQ has obviously been a bit messy with the so-called upgrade. We will all get used to it, and they are fixing some stuff up. But the bit after the game where you go in there and there's general match reports, there's 3 general match reports, 1 for red card, 1 for yellow card, and 1 is for the scores or any other issues. So we've had quite a few in the any other issues. I get a report on Monday morning from one of the guys in the office about what is listed in those any other issues. And quite a few of them were about, there was a yellow card given out or there was a red card given out. There are other sections for the yellow or red card, so no need to write in any issues that there's yellow or red cards. We just don't need to be doubly informed. We get the details from the other sections. It's the other issues are for, it might be crowd behaviour. It might be, there was one on the weekend about the sprinkler head that was dangerous and needed to be addressed. It might be that an ambulance attended the game because of an injury. Anything that else that we need to be aware of, just put it in the any other issues section. But there's no need to put in red and yellow cards. It's just annoying the person in the office who needs to kind of filter all that out. All right. So yeah, as I said, there's a fair bit to get through all there. Is there anything from what I said or anything from any other issue on the weekend that anyone wants to raise before we go on to the coaching video?
Colin.
Chris.
Hey, mate, just very quickly. So last year, Golden Grove did ask us a number of times to have the boundaries change their shirts because it was confusing, especially on the outer side at times, and they got confused. So I don't know if that's a issue or not, but yeah, they did ask a couple of games that I did.
That's interesting feedback. I haven't never heard that. So because the complaints in the past to me haven't been from Golden Grove, they've been from the opposition club. So you're saying the Golden Grove club complained
at quarter time? Yeah, the ground marshal asked we change.
Okay. You know what? Based on that feedback, and I appreciate you giving it, I'm going to change my coaching notes. I'll ask that the boundaries do it as well. It's easy for them to flip their shirt around. So, all right, no problem. Thanks for the feedback. That's good. Anything else? We don't need to get the goalies to change their shirts.
Colin, how good was that 100-meter penalty against Tom Hawkins?
I didn't see the game. I was too busy watching Harley Reid.
I was there. Yeah, it was good. Well done by the umpire. He just took no shit. So Hawkins got in the way. while they were trying to pay a 50, and then they paid another one.
You're up in Queensland.
Yeah, I was up in Brisbane for some work.
How wet did you get?
I was good. I was on the right side of the stadium.
Nice. Very good. Well, I'll take your word for it. That the umpire got that one right.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, cool. Now, Mike Raymond, I reckon I saw you there on the line.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Tell us about your Friday night. I did post something on Facebook before, but let us know what happened.
Yeah, well, it was outstanding. So last Monday on the Zoom, I spoke to Matt regarding junior footy and
that's Matt Stevick.
Yep, about junior footy umpiring and getting kids involved. And then he made a comment on the Zoom, which a lot of you would have heard. He said, "We'll hook something up for Friday night." Sorry, I'm losing my voice. And I didn't think much of it. But then he texted me on Thursday night, which was a little bit of a shock. And I showed Blair the message. I said, "Mate, Matt Stevick's just messaged and he wants to meet up with you." And his face was he was just so happy. So anyway, I called Matt Stevick and he said, "Mate, you can meet me at the ground or meet me at the hotel." So originally I was going to meet him at the hotel, but in the end we met him at the ground. It was probably better because those of you that know me, I probably would have held him up for a while having a chat. So I took the kids down and we saw him, and he presented the kids with a full kit, like his number 9 top and socks and shorts, and they just loved it. And Bry's with me here as well, like talking about it, and just her face lit up. But the kids have got some outstanding photos. I've got to send them to you, Colin. Blair and Bry holding the shirt up.
He did a story.
He did. He told us a lot of stories. But the best thing about it was Blair's face lit up. And I said to Blair, "Mate, you should go full kit tonight, full umpire kit into the ground." And Matt was like, he was very reluctant for that. He's like, "No, don't do that, little fella." He's like, "I love that you're into umpiring, but not that much yet." But like those of you that know me, I would have said to him, "Mate, go for it if you want." But outstanding. He should be pretty proud of himself. What he does for footy, what he does for umpiring, and what he did for the kids that night was it was awesome, wasn't it? Yeah, it was cool. Bry's sitting with me, Blair's gone out, but it was just a great night. So thank you, Colin. Thank you, Matt. Obviously, it's funny. I texted him after the game and I said, "Mate, well umpired. You had an awesome night." And he just wrote back like, he goes, "That's awesome coming from a Crow supporter, mate." He goes, "Really appreciate it." Sent him the photos of the kids with him, and then he just wrote back, "Keep in touch." So connections like that are awesome, and it happened from that Zoom meeting on Monday night. So thank you, and thank you to everyone.
Good on you, mate. Make sure that voice comes back for the weekend.
Yeah, it's fun. Cheers.
Good stuff. All right, let's get on to the coaching video. Okay, hopefully you've all had a chance to have a look at it. So, Chris, you want to unmute yourself again?
Yeah, no worries.
Had a chance to have a look?
I did have a little browse. This is the first one. Is it the girl's name?
Yeah. You can do the first one. So a couple of things to unpack here.
Yeah, like I had a quick look on my phone today. And the first one I would have either play on or holding the ball. I just couldn't tell from how small my screen was, but she ducked her head into it. So her prior went and her protection went. And then obviously it was another call. It was a close call from what I could see, whether it was in the back or not by the boundary, but if not, out of bounds, if it was all okay.
It's hard to look at that at your phone. You're best to get it on a laptop or a computer.
Yeah, I'm on holidays, mate, and it's just the phone's the only option.
Where are you?
At home.
Oh, okay. Very
just
good.
eating roast dinner, mate.
No, very good. Rob, did you get a chance to have a look?
No, I didn't. I just got back from leave, so I'm seeing a pretty difficult version to look at.
All right. Can someone unmute themselves? I actually lost the list of people on the line. Someone who has seen it want to have a crack at it? See if we can get the right answer.
She handballed out of bounds.
Yep. And did you see anything before that?
Oh no, play on, out of bounds with a handball.
Yep. So therefore, the right decision in the end is
A free kick
for
was deliberate out of bounds, or last possession.
last possession. That's what I was after. Thank you, Gory. Well done. So yes, there was a duck of the head, so there was not a high tackle. There was no prior, and the ball came out, but the handball went over the line, and so therefore it should have been a last possession free kick. So the way we do it, last possession is paid by the field umpire. It's not a boundary umpire's responsibility. Essentially, all they're going to do is put their hand up, and you need to be in a position to see if it was a clear kick or handball. Obviously, any doubt, you'd throw it in. But in that instance, it's a pretty clear handball and should have been a free kick to the opposition. All right. Next one. I reckon I saw Bo on the line before. Bo, you want to unmute yourself?
How you going, Cole?
Good, mate. Now, did we go to Adelaide Oval last Friday night?
Had to make sure it after the Friday before.
Yeah. It's a pity you didn't get it mixed up, so you didn't think there was a game.
I thought about it.
All right. Next one.
I was actually umpiring in this game. So.
Yeah, you were. I reckon you come up in this video again and see.
Deep in Hope Valley's forward line now with hand. Ducks the head into the tackle. The umpire doesn't fall for it, and we've got a boundary throw in deep in that forward pocket now.
All right.
Hope Valley.
Had you watched it before?
Yeah, I watched the first two actually today at work, but I actually thought Paul umpired this pretty well. Josh, the player, actually sort of got pretty close to the line and probably knew it was going out, so probably looked to draw a free kick as he sort of got tackled and leant into it. The ball went over, so yeah, just a throw in, so nothing to it.
Yep. So Paul got this right, as you said. He was in a good position to see the duck of the head, and called rightfully play on. Look, at the end of the day, we're on the side of the ball player. We pay a high tackle, while that's not the end of the world. But if we can see that as a clear duck, then we don't want to pay it. So, Marek, you want to come unmute yourself, because just let me know what you sent an email through about from your game at Salisbury North on the weekend. It'll be worth letting everyone know that.
There's a player for Salisbury North that's a bit of a perennial ducker. I've had him in previous seasons, and he did it a couple of times early on in the game, but it was sort of borderline what he was doing. So we did pay a couple of high tackles to him, and then I think later in the game there was a really obvious one where he's ducked into the tackle, and I've called play on, and then he's actually about 5 seconds later been tackled while standing up and thrown himself to the ground to try and make it look like a dangerous tackle. So I had a word to him after that and just told him he's going to get himself seriously hurt one day, but he just gave me a bit of a smirk, and I think he knows that's all part of the act. But I guess it's probably knowing without wanting to target players, but it's sort of knowing the players that might be prone to doing it, i.e. Ginnivan.
Yeah, exactly. He's our own Jack Ginnivan, and makes it hard to umpire, because when they get a legitimate high tackle, we need to pay it. But we don't want to reward this constant ducking of the head or the throwing to the ground and trying to get a dangerous tackle. So we do need to be aware of it. So it doesn't hurt in naming this player, because he's been on our list before. But it's Travis McIntyre, isn't it? For
number 41 for Salisbury North, for anyone that has him. Short fella, stocky.
Yeah. Again, we need to call it, as we said, the obvious ones we pay, but we don't want to keep rewarding him and encouraging the behaviour. So, now that we're aware of it, I'll just be making sure that all umpires who are doing Salisbury North are aware of it, and hopefully we can get it right more often than not. but it does make it challenging. So thanks for letting us know about that, Marek. We do
No worries.
need to be onto that. All right. While you're there, Marek, have you had a look at the video?
No, I haven't. Sorry.
That's all right. I'm getting a little bit dizzy
Crack that
watching
way.
you run around like that, so I'll get someone else. Someone else want to have a go that hasn't already had a go? Did I see Mark Goods on the line before?
Yep, I'm here.
Very good. You want to have a go at the third one?
Sure.
What'd you say?
Not ball comes in. One player gets first hands to it, then the second player gets second hands to it, so it's not a mark. So Liam correctly balls it up.
Yep, spot on. So the key here is to be in the right position, to be in a good position to mark a judge a marking contest. It's side on slightly in front of the contest. And yeah, Liam does a good job there to see what's actually happened and doesn't pay the mark. So well done. All right, let's roll through the rest of this video. We're looking at ruck contests. So even though there's been some discussions of slight change to our interpretation, really the only thing we're doing different compared to last year is if there's a arm or hand out that we're letting that go. Not that we were paying too many of those technical ones last year anyway. But as you all know from the email that's sent out pre-season, if the ruckman or the ruck contact crosses the line and they then block the other ruck from contesting the ball, we pay a free kick. So there will be some differences between what we do and the AFL does based on the fact that they've changed it quite dramatically this year. So some of those are featured on this video. The most important thing
I saw that one, Con.
Sorry?
I saw that one. The next one. The ruck one.
Very good. Balsy's a happy man. He's a Bombers supporter. So really a lot of this is about seeing what the player's intention is. And if their intention is to block the other ruckman first and then go for the ball, so we're looking at free kick. So I'll just let this roll, Balsy. I won't get you to
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'll save you for next week.
He puts his leg out and blocks him. He crosses the line.
Oh, good.
Free kick.
So crosses the line and puts his knee out. Gives no opportunity for the other ruckman to contest the ball. I think it was Paul Smither that plays a good free kick and advantage. So that's what we're looking for. With this one here, again, the intention of the ruck from Easton Park, I think it is, crosses the line, bumps the other player out. She has no chance to go for the ball. Aaron makes a good decision on a horrendous ground. That was a couple of years ago when we had really bad weather in August. So you want to be paying the first free kick, really obvious high contact in a ruck. You want to make sure that you don't miss these. So it's just arm over the shoulder.
Got the front spot and earned the free kick.
You want to be trying to back out, getting that as far away from the contest as you can to be able to see these free kicks. So again, here, there's a arm across the head. And if we don't get those, that's where we can get problems. But what a clumsy attempt there. So, yeah, what is the focus? Is it the other ruck or is it the ball?
Tackle.
We don't pay just for looking at the other ruck, but if they go and push the other player out and then go for the ball, just like they do there, you want to pay a free kick.
A bit harsh.
Commentator says a bit harsh, but it was actually spot on.
So we're proud now that we'll.
So here, this one, I think Chris Collins, the umpire. Goodwood Ruckman goes to push the POC player out before he contested it. Again, the two actions.
This is Waterhouse, who we haven't seen too much of today. Could be a big kick though.
And this is from the Divi 2 grand final from a couple of years ago, Broadview and Sacred Heart. It's a good tight game. So again, just eyes for the Sacred Heart play. That's a trigger. We don't pay for just looking at the other ruckman, but he clearly was watching him and moved across to block his run at the ball. So a really good free from Marek. Is the first intention to contest the footy? If not, that's where we're looking at probably paying a free kick. So in that case there, player just, I think it's Old Nations, isn't it? Just pushes him in the back, not trying to go for the ball. And this one here, the player does cross the line and stops the other ruckman from contesting the ball. But yeah, we do tend to eliminate that if we pay those free kicks early. The ruck get the idea. So you want to put space between you and the contest with urgency, aiming for that 20 to 25 metres, determine if both players are going for the ball. So that's tonight's video. Any questions or comments on any of that? All right. Anything else before we wind up?
Colin, I had a question from the trial matches where the third ruck up was getting blocked as he went for the ball for the rucking contest.
Yep.
So he was sort of being blocked out. Does that make sense?
Yep. So if
I was going to say, because the third player's his sole intention is the ball and he's getting blocked out, that would be a free kick because there's
Correct.
no push block bump hold if he's got up in the ruck. Yeah,
that's right. So often clubs will try and counteract the third man up, and in that case, they will try and block the space. Now, if they are seen to be just, I guess, going for the ball, but in a space where they're getting in the way, then it's play on. But if you see them clearly move over and block their run at it, that's where you pay a free kick.
Well, yeah, it's got to be really obvious, I think.
Yeah, it has to be obvious, for sure. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Anything else? No, all good. All right, we got through a fair bit of that stuff in time. I didn't know whether I'd get through it all. Obviously, we've got training this Wednesday night. Those who are umpiring on Thursday, if you want to come out to training and just jog around the stretch, you're more than welcome. For the rest of you, it's like a normal week. Most of you will have games just on the Saturday. There'll be plenty of footy to umpire this week, so you should all get as many games as you're after. And we roll on.
Smitty Snitties.
What was that?
Smitty Snitties this week.
Gory, is it Smitty Snitzel night?
He just left.
I think it is actually. That was in the whistleblower.
Yeah, it is.
I'll add that to, mate. Chris, I need you to write my coaching notes. I'll add that to the coaching notes before I send it out. Thanks for the reminder. That's good. So yeah, come to the pub on Wednesday night after training. Be good to see you.
Colin, can I just go again? I've got Brian next to me. She wants to show me on her footy. So don't be shy now. So Matt Stevick signed Briar and Blair a footy, and she just thinks it's the greatest thing ever. So
awesome.
Do you want to show everyone? Good stuff. Oh, mate, thank you.
Good on you. All right. See ya.
Good evening.